Hey friends, this is Eric the Mind Control Guy. How's everybody doing tonight? I have not made a video in quite some time. And the video I'm going to make right now, before I got to head off to the salt mine, so to speak, I'm not going to make it about Area 51 or MIBs. I got a completely different topic I have been wanting to make for a very, very long time. And what I'm going to talk about today, crime of on all levels is off the charts. I mean, crime that is so unconscionable that's been going on for a long time is just, you can't even believe that people are actually this savage. I'm talking about the gangs, whether you be suit and tie, bike, street, doesn't matter. The rapists, the pedophiles, crime on all levels is just off the charts, unconscionable. And they have a term called repeat offender, which to me proves that with so many individuals out here, I'm not people that was at the wrong place, the wrong time. You had some swaggering, arrogant prosecutor that he don't give a damn about truth, justice, the American way. You got to just railroad as many people into prison as possible. Like the prosecutor that was a prosecutor when I was growing up in Ventura, California. That dirty dog. I mean, that's the way his entire district attorney's office, that's how they operated. They didn't give a damn about truth, justice, the American way. All they cared about was how many people could they put in prison. Matter of fact, that was their motto. We don't lose. And the assistant DA told an old timer that I've known my whole life. He said, you see what we got on you? Like that. Real arrogant and condescending. Old man looked at that stuff, said, that ain't that but a pack of lies. He's like, where the hell have you been? Mocking the old timer. He said, of course we lie. We all lie. The name of the game is who can lie better than the next guy. You can't convict people unless you lie. We don't give a damn about a person's guilt or innocence. Our job is to get convictions, and you can't convict people unless you lie. Old guy said, what if you don't have any evidence? Because where were you born, under a bridge? We make it up. Now, this is the assistant DA talking. You know, the guy that went to law school, supposed to know the law and all that. Admitting that they will commit any kind of crime possible to railroad somebody into prison they know did not commit a certain crime. They don't care. And then the old timer said, what if you don't have any evidence? Or what if you don't have any suspects? He goes, we know guilty people when we see them. Then the bastard had this to say. Innocent people aren't accused of crimes. If you're accused, you're guilty. And the dirty dog, who was the DA at the time, was quoted no less than 3 times in the local Star Free Press at that time, later changed its name to the Ventura County Star. Quoted 3 times saying innocent people aren't accused of crimes. If you're accused, you're guilty. He was also quoted on TV as saying that. In interviews, he said that. He'd love to put people in prison. Well, after he retired, some years back, after all the bribes that he took, let me say, rephrase that, he took endless amounts of bribes. Shut down the free energy thing. He shut down this group session that was healing people, curing people, was simply what they call guided meditation or white light energy from the cosmos. And he shut it down because he was paid handsomely by a bunch of damn doctors that they don't give a damn. They don't want to see people cured. Doctors love sick people because that's how they make their money. Other doctors that didn't go along with that BS because they were in the business for healing people and curing people, those doctors got run out of business or got railroaded into prison. A lot of that kind of stuff goes on. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit off track. Uh, the gangs, the crime. Chicago is now called Chirac. And I'm speaking to you today on February 2nd of 2020. Chicago is now called Chirac. I mean, they got kids 14, 15, 16 years old already picking out their coffins because they know they're not going to live to see 18, 21 if they're lucky. What the hell kind of life is that to live? But all these savage gangs on all levels, every category of these savage gangs, what do we do with them? Prison doesn't teach these guys anything. They get out of prison, they're right back doing the same thing they just spent 4, 5, 6, 10 years in prison for. They're right back doing the same thing. Okay, what do we do with these guys? Well, my old man came up with a thing many, many years ago. He had a good idea. And I'm sure others have thought about it too, and I kind of modified what he said. What are we going to do with these gangs? What are we going to do with all these savages, these pedophiles, these rapists, these guys think they're big tough shit, go and beat their wives all the time, and just any kind of heinous crime you can think of, these people are doing it. What are we going to do? Well, they got a lot of islands out in the South Pacific. Some are uninhabited. Others still have headhunters and cannibals on them. Yeah, you heard me right. Headhunters and cannibals. Well, I think it's time we get the U.S. military involved. If we got these politicians who work on behalf of, Rothschild and these other big corporations are going to send our troops over to other countries to kill people who hadn't done anything to us at all, But Rothschild wants to own all the banks in the world. They want all the gold. They want everything. They want to own it all. And they put the screws to our politicians to where our troops get sent over and get their ass shot off. Other countries, same thing. All you got to do is Moab, the house of Rothschild, with every last Rothschild in it. All this begins to end. Well, once again, I'm getting off track. Anyway, all these islands that still have headhunters and cannibals. All these savages, and that's not to say everybody in prison is a savage, but the gangs, the pedophiles, use your damn brain, understand what the hell I'm talking about. All these freaking gangs, all these savages out here, just commit every kind of heinous act, lone wolves. The ones that are already in prison, let's start there. Big badasses. Guys got arms the size of telephone poles, tatted up and everything. It's time to get the U.S. military involved, where all these troop carriers, the guards come in there, of every kind of law enforcement you can think of. Get these guys chained up or plastic stripped up, march them out in the cattle cars, take them down to whatever closest naval yard is there around. Big old troop carriers be there waiting. Start marching these sons of bitches by the thousands into these troop carriers. Take them out there where these islands are. Start dropping them off. Unchain them, take the plastic strips off, have your old boys got machine guns mounted on them, so you ain't going to be no breach. You try and break for us, you're just going to go ahead and splatter your ass right here. But I think, it's time to take these bastards out by the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, who are making life in cities, in even small little areas, unbearable. You have a handful of guys that terrorize everybody, and you got lawyers putting the screws to the cops, so the cops feel they can't even do anything to these sons of bitches. Hell, you deport some guy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, he's back within a week doing the same damn thing he just got deported for. It's time to take these bastards out by the thousands. Dump them off on the islands where they still have headhunters and cannibals. So you know what? There you go. There's going to be some fat cannibals walking around. And when this has to be done, I would say to start with, it would have to be done like a black ops project. It's off the books. Nobody but a select few know about it. Done in the middle of the night, prison's emptying out, they're on the island. And when the Headhunters and Cannibals come out, let's see how tough you homeboys are now. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do if the Headhunters and Cannibals come after them? Flash your gang sign, dog. Let them know you from the east side, you from the west side, you from the south side. Flash your gang sign up, they're gonna go, ooh, finger food. Yeah, who gives a shit? Look what you did to the people of society, and a lot of them are your own damn people in your own damn neighborhoods. You kept people terrorized for years. Now you're going to go to the island, or you're going to spend the rest of your life, depending on how long you live. You know, chances are you go on the island of Headhunters and Cannibals, you ain't going to live to see 100. Chances are you won't live that long at all. But why should we care? You know, at least there's going to be a fighting chance. But you know what? You are going to be going up against people who aren't afraid of you. And you're going to have nowhere to run. No lawyer to defend you. You ain't going to be going to mom and daddy's house, hiding in their basement. Because homeboy's going to be out there trying to do a drive-by. Yeah, he won't get your bitch ass. He'll end up getting some 3-year-old girl. Some little old man, little old lady housewife. Or like that lady, that little girl in St. Louis. Her name was Jamil. I don't know what her last name was. Miss Peggy Hubbard did a video on this. She was doing her homework, and these guys did a drive-by shooting, got the wrong house. She's doing her homework, 9 years old, gets hit by a stray bullet and killed. But who's everybody riding for? Some thug. Yeah, they don't care about the little girl, only some thug. All these so-called protesters, they're out there protesting and trying to defend the thugs, not the decent people of the world. And that's a crying damn shame. Petty crimes, little stuff. We'll put you in prison the first time. You want to go out and still do some stealing and shoplifting and home invasions and stuff like that? Okay, fine. Depending on the level of your crime. If you're a savage, just brutal, you go to the island Headhunters and Cannibals. If your crimes are just petty crap, but you don't seem to get the message, then they got other islands out there that are uninhabited. Dump your ass off there and say, make your own society. And then give us a chance to clean up your damn mess. Everything that your kind has torn apart for decades. And then if this can happen, I think the crime problem will eventually stop. Because people are going to realize it's not worth being involved in gang. It's not worth being involved in crime. Because once your ass gets caught, depending on your level of crime, you're either going to go to the islands of the Headhunters and Cannibals, or you're going to go to the uninhabited island. Live like Gilligan's Island or something. Robinson Crusoe. And the Navy is going to have their Navy ships out there patrolling that, making sure your ass never gets off. And making sure none of your homies or anybody comes over to rescue your ass. That will be your final stay. Not locked in a little box, a little 8x10 box or a 5x8 box, whatever, in a jail cell. We got to spend, $65,000 a year taking care of each individual? To hell with that. You know, it's time that if we didn't have to spend so much money on the damn worthless individuals who have got themselves in prison knowing damn good and well what they did, just hoping they were going to get caught. And now, hell, they got 3 hots in a cot, they got free medical, all that. Screw that. Time to put them on the island. Just think how much money these individual states and even the federal government would save on not housing all these damn prisoners. We could really rebuild our infrastructure in all these cities that have been destroyed by generation after generation of savages, punks, welfare, all that crap. You know, all these areas that you've torn down, like I go through St. Louis every week, and it's project after project off of, what is it, I-64, I-70 going down through St. Louis, and it's just falling down, boarded up. You see that everywhere. Chicago, Detroit. Detroit looks like a wasteland. Maybe it's time all these areas just bulldoze them down. All that rebar and stuff, salvage it if you can. All the heavy construction, all the heavy equipment. Time to bulldoze all these places down, dig everything up, refill it, plant trees, and leave it. So you know what? To hell with it. Give it back to the critters. You know, when you have people with the ghetto mentality, and that goes across all categories. In case any crybabies out there want to play the bitch ass race card, all categories, it's the ghetto mentality. Tear up everything and anything. Keep everybody terrorized. Home invasions, carjackings. My son, who's in the Air Force right now, did 2 years in Guam. Loved it. Didn't have a problem. Came back to the States last September. Beale Air Force Base, Northern California. He flew home here to Indiana. Gave him his car. Little blue 2013 Chevy Spark. Drove all the way across the country. 3 months later, some son of a bitch stole it. Stole his car. For what? Why? Worthless pile of dog shit stole his damn car. So his mom and I took it upon ourselves, my wife, and we bought him a 2018 Chevy Cruze. Drove it out there to him a couple weeks ago. He had it less than a week, and some worthless piles of crap, dog ass homeboys already smashed the windows out, seeing what they could steal. Because he had some packages in there that he was going to mail to us. Smashed the windows out just to steal. In that complex, apparently there was a total of three cars that had their windows smashed out. It's up in Roseville, California. Back in November, 35 cars in one night had their windows smashed out. It's all that snatch and grab stuff. The thievery is off the charts. Those sons of bitches, they need to be on the islands with the headhunters and cannibals. Get them the hell out of society. Prison does not work with those kind of savages. Doesn't work. And I think it's high time that we just go ahead and do this. The islands are way out there away from anybody. Headhunters and cannibals ain't going to get off. They're living their lives. Now it's time to be bringing them some food. And all this with drones, long range video footage, dump these bastards off, and it can be videotaped. Let's see how tough homeboy is now. And when the headhunters, when they get these guys, and they're cooking them up, and their heads are on a stick, let these videotapes go back to the neighborhoods, go back to the ghettos. Let everybody involved in all that gang stuff, let them get these videos and say, you know what? You want to be involved in crime? You want to be involved in gangs? This is your future. You know, Big Tough Louie or Big Tough Jawan. Everybody's afraid of him because he was the man. Well, guess what? Now he's somebody's meal. Now his head's on a stick. That was the tough ass you looked up to. And now, you want to continue down this line? Instead of going to school, learning a skilled trade, being a productive part of society? You don't want to do that because being a worthless pile of crap thug is what you want to do? Then fine, you're going to the island. And maybe those of you in military intelligence and NSA, FBI, CIA that watch my videos because of all the videos I made about the whole Storm Area 51 thing and the MIB thing, and those who kept watch on me years ago because, you know, I'm an actual survivor of military mind control. I hope you guys are watching this video too. Because maybe it's high time that we start taking all these savages out of society and putting them on the island, far away from any civilized country, any civilized nation. It's time to get the crap out of society. And all the crybabies that want to defend them, well, maybe they need to go too. Get a bunch of these sorry ass lawyers that want to defend their right to be savages and do home invasions. Maybe it's time for them to go. Go over there and defend them. Society is sick of it. You know, my boy, he had one car stolen, and the other car, he had the window smashed out, brand new car, in less than 2 months in the same apartment complex. And these worthless, sorry ass gangs and lone wolf savages that prey on people. People have worked their ass off all their lives to get something, and in one night, homeboy breaks in and steals it. Family heirlooms lost. People don't even know what the hell they steal. They steal just to steal. Before I jump off of here, I'm going to tell you another story. A number of years ago, there was an old man that lived up in northern and central California. He was one of the survivors of the Bataan Death March from World War II. And survived 3.5 years in a Japanese prison camp. The stuff that they said happened to Abu Ghraib would have been a day at Disneyland compared to what happened to our guys who were prisoners, along with our brothers who were from the Philippines. American and Philippine prisoners were captured. Marched 63 miles or so in 100-degree heat, 100-degree plus heat. No water, no nothing. And if they fell down, they got a bayonet in their chest. They got decapitated. They got shot. Yeah, that's what happened to our guys. When the Army Rangers went to go in there 3.5 years later, 2 captains escaped. Army Rangers went in there and rescued all those guys. There was like 67,000 guys that were there as prisoners. 13,000 or 11,000, some godforsaken number, died on that forced march. When the Army Rangers went in to get those guys, there was 501 that were still alive. That's all. They were dying at hundreds a day. And there was film footage taken of it. And you can watch it on YouTube today. Now, you got all these idiots out of here that are promoting, oh, wars never happened. All that never happened. They were all actors. Shut the hell up. You people got your head so far up your ass, ain't no wonder crap's the only thing comes out of your mouth. Yeah, wars do happen. Yeah, people did die. Those people died. Anyway, one of the survivors, he kept a daily journal. And he kept it hidden from the Japanese guards because if he was writing down about what happened, they would have killed him. But he kept it all these years. Kept it hidden. And when he got back, he managed, when the Army Rangers came to get him, he kept it. He had it for years. Well, a number of years ago, him and his wife went out to dinner. Came back, some worthless, sorry-ass homeboy or some tweaker broke into his house. And he had it in a box underneath his bed. Bastards, oh, what can we steal? Well, they stole the box that had that in there. They didn't know what it is, but they probably threw it in the dumpster. Probably the only one in existence. All those stories, first-hand account stories from the man that lived it. And some worthless pile of shit, homeboy, dopehead, whatever, stealing just to steal. He said, I don't give a damn about everything else, but don't take that. There was people offering big bucks for anybody who would turn it. Well, hell, homeboy didn't even know what he had. Chances are it was lost forever. These sorry ass, worthless gangsters and home invaders and tweakers want to go break in and steal just to steal. Some countries, they cut off your hands, brand thief across your forehead. You know, I've said for a long time, it's time to take them out to the islands. Actually, what I've really said was it's time to take these bastards out 100 miles out to sea and throw them, feed them to the sharks. Take them down to Florida and feed them to the alligators. Videotape it. Send it back. Let homeboy know, hey, you want to be involved in gang? Guess what's happening? You're going to get caught. You ain't going to get 3 hots in a cot. You're going to be alligator food. You're going to be shark food. And I hope you people who watch my videos, especially you folks from the intelligence community, please pass this video on to President Donald Trump, soon to be re-elected President Donald Trump. After all this impeachment BS goes by the wayside, please show him this video. I hope you folks listen to what I say, and it's time to follow through. Start loading them up and take them to the islands. The president is only one guy. You can't make your country safe when you have these ghetto mentality savages, these SOBs committing endless crimes, and then the lawyers want to keep the cops' hands tied to where the cops can't even do anything about it without violating homeboys' rights. You know, the Revolutionary Communist Party with Gregory Joey Johnson of the flag burning fame was up there at Pelican Bay not too many years ago, whining and protesting about the deplorable conditions. I knew a guy who did 3 years in prison. He's fixing to spend the rest of his life in prison for robbing 3 banks in Texas. But anyway, Pelican Bay, according to those who've been in the prison system, that's your last stop. That is your last stop. And Pelican Bay, they say, is the worst of the worst. Guys are just absolute freaking savages. Absolute savages. And the communists were up there protesting because, the conditions were deplorable. Did you guys ever stop to think, what did those sons of bitches do that got their asses in there in the first place? Shut up. The Revolutionary Communist Party, just like the other ones, always defending thugs instead of wanting to speak out for the common folk who are been terrified for generations of these thugs. You ain't speaking out. You ain't trying to defend these people. You're always wanting to defend thugs. And I hope you assholes from the Revolutionary Communist Party and all these other communist groups and Antifa, I hope you bastards end up getting the worst kind of treatment you can have by the very people you defend, because you're just that stupid. You believed all the bullshit you were told. Anyway, I got to get to work. There's a lot of people depending on me to get up and go to work. So, anyway, this is Eric the Mind Control Guy signing off, but I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. It's time that we take all the savages out here that make life unbearable in these neighborhoods, in these cities, in these towns. It's time to take them out to the island and just give the Headhunters and Cannibals a gift. Ciao.